So, good day everyone. We are group 18 and we are here today to talk to you about the computational stylistic. My name is Loren. I'm with my group mates, Charlene and Jessa. We are excited to share our insight into the fascinating field of computational stylistics. To begin with the introduction, most traditional research in natural language processing information retrieval has focused on analyzing the topic of a text, what it says. But there is also much important and useful information carried the style of the text, how it say. Next, introduction. So, analyzing the topic of what text is what it say, and the style of text is how it say. The stylistic analysis is also fundamental to the recognition of uses of language which discern one author to another. An author's style is his signature, and last is the stylometry, the study of linguistic style. In the area of stylometry, the study of linguistic style, which the computer is used to generate data on the types, number, and length of words and sentence. The stylometry uses statistical method to analyze style in order to determine authorship. Next. Next slide, please. Computational stylistics is the study of patterns formed in particular text, authors, genre, periods via computational methods. Through the use of computers, it should be possible to achieve more accurate detection and explanation such as linguistic patterns. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Here are the scope of computational stylistic: to find patterns in language that are linked to the process of writing and reading. Also to find style in the wider sense, but which are not demonstrated without computational methods. For example, to examine patterns of Shakespeare association and difference among Shakespeare's play based on their spoken dialogue. It is account that frequency a common words and rare words to detect writing style, producing distinct and unmistakable literary fingerprint that can be used to determine if and when there have been collaborations with other texts. Detection of idiosyncratic uses of language which distinguish one author from another author. So here are the example of corpus used for computational stylistic. Next slide, please. Here are the literary fields. The literary text, which is the plays, poems, novels, short story, and example of the literary text is the Shakespeare's work. Also, there are websites, the Merchant of Venice, the personal blogs. That is the example of corpus used for computational stylistic. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, relevance of to language learning or language research. Rizwana, please discuss your waiting.
Relevance to language learning or language research. First, to determine the language of literary works. This is directly relevant to language research, specifically in the field of historical linguistics and philology. Determining the language of a literary work involves analyzing its linguistic features such as vocabulary, grammar, and phonology to identify its origin and historical context. Second, the language research literary language. This refers to the study of literary language, a distinct variety of language used in written works, often departing from everyday speech. This area of research focuses on analyzing the unique linguistic features of literary texts, including their stylistics, choices, figurative language, and rhetorical devices. Third, to reveal differences among many types of dialogues of the language used. This aspect is relevant to social linguistics and pragmatics, which study how language varies across social contexts and how language is used to convey meaning in interactions. Fourth, language used in a special way never reflects everyday speech and may depart from the grammatical and other norms of speech. This describes the concept of literary language and its unique characteristics. It's relevant to stylistics, which analyzes the stylistic choices made by writers to create specific effects and convey meaning. And last, literary language, quiet and conscious, lyric sensitive, requires no reference to non-literary usage. This statement highlights the intuitive and the natural nature of literary language, often characterized by its emotional impact and directness. This aspect is relevant to understanding the creative process of writers and the impact of literary language on readers. So the next is Hypnosis of Study or Empirical Study. Title, Now I Am Alone, Journal, a Purpose Stylistic Approach to Shakespearean Soliloquies by C.N. Murphy, Lancaster University. Research questions. How does the linguistic nature of soliloquies differ from dialogue in Shakespeare plays? To what extent can purpose stylistic analysis highlight distinctions between different genres, comedies, histories, tragedies, and period of Shakespeare's career, early plays versus mid-career work? Objectives. To show what a purpose stylistic analysis can reveal about the linguistic nature of soliloquies as opposed to dialogue in Shakespeare's plays. To what extent this methodological approach can highlight distinctions between comedies, stories, and tragedies, and early plays as opposed to mid-career. To demonstrate insights that purpose stylistic analysis can provide into the linguistic characteristics of soliloquies compared to dialogue in Shakespeare's plays. Number two, to explore the potential of his methodological approach to identify linguistic distinctions between genres and periods in Shakespeare's work. Next report is
So now let's move on to the methodology of computational stylistics. First, we have the 12 Shakespeare's plays were chosen by the researcher and soliloquist as side document and interactional language and calculate the percentage. So researchers selected 12 Shakespeare plays and specifically focused on soliloquies. Soliloquies is when a character speaks their thoughts out loud or alone on stage and asides is when a character speaks directly to the audience while others are on stage, but the other characters can't hear them. So next we have the multilingual corpus toolkit. So multilingual corpus toolkit is to look for the deeper meanings in the text, and this also helps analyze on how words used across different languages and contexts to uncover hidden themes or patterns. Next is wordsmith tool for condenses. So wordsmith tool to conduct condenses. So this means that the tool help them find and list the most frequent words or phrases used in the plays, along with the words that tend to appear alongside them. It is called collocations. So let's move on to findings. So first we have the self-talk versus interactional language. So in this study, it found that Shakespeare often used interjections like "oh," and the phrases that expresses "oh" is that express a phrase that express a doubt, such as "with" and "yet," when characters are engaged in self-talk or soliloquies. So next is comedy soliloquies. So it is about love and relationship, tragic heroes and contemplate religion and the supernatural, and historical figures seems to contemplate themselves. So in this study, it found that in comedies, soliloquists often talked about love and relationships. In tragedies, characters focused on religion and the supernatural, while historical figures reflect on themselves and their actions. So next is soliloquisters. It gives implicit state directions, reveal future intention, and generalize. So soliloquists as stage direct in Shakespeare plays not only reveal a character's inner thoughts, but also serves as implicit stage directions. It hints the future action or the character's intention in the plays. Next is in terms of topics, soliloquies appear to talk to great length about anatomy and physiology, thoughts, colors, love, and deception. So Shakespeare's soliloquies touch on a wide range of topics, including the anatomy and physiology, thoughts, colors, love, and deception. So for the example of this is the Romeo and Juliet. So soliloquy, "Oh Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?" It touches on themes of love and identity, and reflects on how names and appearances can be deceiving. So for the reflection, why does all this matter? Well, computational stylistics is really helpful in studying text, offers genres, and periods. So it allows us to dig deeper into how a writer like William Shakespeare uses language and what themes are common during his time. So this kind of analysis is especially is useful for language students. It helps us to see the connection between the text and the author and the time period it was written in, and also it improves our understanding of literature and history. So to sum up it all, last tip today, the researcher suggests that more research should be done to further explore individual text. So this will help us on advanced language learning and appreciate how language has evolved. So to sum up it all, computational stylistics gives us more detailed to understanding of Shakespeare's plays, and also it focused on how and why he used certain words and expressions. So it is a valuable tool for students and scholars alike. So I think that would be all for the computational stylistics.
Thank you.